Alright my friends, so today we are going to talk about the new simulated universe mode, which is Unknowable domain, and the fact that we are getting 3,500 stellar jades coming in version 3.6. Now before we start, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell beside it to stay notified with everything new about Honkai Impact 3rd and Honkai Star Rail, and without any further ado, let's just get started. So as you can see here, this is the new domain that we are going to get in simulated universe, and it is basically going to have something to do with Herta herself. And when I say Herta herself, I don't mean the puppet Herta, but the real Herta, as you can see here. Now, as you can see, this one is going to have different rewards as usual as any new domain that we get in the simulated universe. However, this domain is going to give us actually 3,500 stellar jades and 4 regular passes, which is absolutely phenomenal. Like, this is pretty much 2 multis and a single. If my math is mathing right, I think that this is actually 2 multis and 1 single, which is going to be extremely useful for anyone who is going to save for basically Sunday and Tingyun, or for anyone who is going to summon for Rappa. This is a very good amount of stellar jades, and then we have the 4 regular ones as well, which is going to be helpful for new players. And in case you still have one of the characters on the regular banner that you still don't have somehow, this is going to help you to try to get that character. Either way, the rewards are actually very phenomenal. Now, what do we know about this new domain? Well, this new domain is going to have actually to do with Robert 2 and the stuff that he created, which are called a scepter system. And in this, by the way, we have a new illustration of Herta herself as well, as you can see once again. There is this key as well, which we are going to get as a reward, but I don't know what it is all about, because they didn't actually describe anything about it here. I already read this one and they didn't actually describe anything about it here, so I wonder what is going to happen here. Either way, this is actually a new illustration of Herta, which is really cool. We are slowly but surely moving forward towards basically meeting the real Herta, which is very cool, because I really want to see how the real Herta looks like, because these are just puppets. We want to see the real Herta, the Emanator one. Either way, unlike the regular simulated universe where blessings are used to gain enhancement, in the simulated universe Unknowable domain, the Trailblazer will use, as I told you before, scepters to gain buffs and engage in battles. Scepters can be activated in battle by meeting certain conditions, unleashing powerful attack effects on enemy targets. So as you can see, we have 2 examples here. There are the hypothetical scepter and then the hypothetical scepter 2. The hypothetical scepter is basically going to be activated with a certain ability, and then it is going to be basically activating a certain attack as well. So the activation method is summon a scepter with 100 speed. When the scepter takes action, it activates. So it is going to be basically some sort of monster on the turn base area. And once its turn came, it is going to take effect and it is going to basically activate. Now the activation effect is going to be deals ice damage to all enemy units. So hypothetical scepter is going to have 100 speed. Once its turn comes, it is going to deal ice damage to all enemies. Now the hypothetical scepter 2 is going to have basically gain 1 charge after an ally uses an ultimate. So this is going to be based on your ultimate instead. When the charge reaches 2, the scepter activates. Deals lightning damage to 1 random enemy unit. So I feel like this is going to be dealing a little bit of damage on everyone, and this is going to be dealing a lot of damage on 1 random enemy. So this is going to be good against normal mobs. This is going to be good most likely against basically bosses. So we will see. But either way, these are two examples of the scepters that we are going to use. Now these scepters can also be embedded with different abilities, and these abilities are called components. There are two types of components. They are hexagonal supplementary components and circular passive components. And as you can see, there are different slots. Now each scepter is going to have basically a specific amount of slots, and then once you upgrade them, they are going to have even more slots. So keep that in mind. You can actually upgrade the scepters. Now as you can see, these are the different examples of components. There is hypothetical supplementary component alpha. Component effect: after the scepter attacks, all enemies units take more damage, lasting for several turns. So they aren't even telling us how many turns, but it is okay. Most likely in the game they are going to tell us how many turns it is, but they don't want to tell us here, just because in case they want to change it later on, they can change it until the official release. Either way, this is going to basically allow you to be able to deal more damage on the enemies, which is going to be very useful. Then the other one, increase the scepter's speed by 100. So this is going to be very useful. I feel like this is both of these actually. Both of these are going to be very useful for the hypothetical scepter 1, because this one is going to increase the damage basically on all enemies, and the scepter 1 deals damage on all enemies, and this is going to increase the scepter's speed by 100, and scepter 1 actually has speed, and it takes turn just like any normal basically monster on the field or character on the field. So that's why I feel like these two are both going to be for scepter 1. Either way, as you can see, if you have both of them on 1, summon scepter with 100 plus 100 speed. When the scepter takes action, it activates, deals ice damage to all enemies. After the scepter attacks, all enemies take more damage, lasting for several turns. So as you can see, the abilities are basically merged immediately with the abilities of the scepter, and both of them are used actually on the first scepter, which is oh my god, I swear I didn't look at it. Either way, both of them looked very good actually for scepter 1. Either way, as you can see, the abilities are going to be immediately merged with the scepter's ability, and they are going to work with it. Then we have basically Trailblazers can carry up to 3 scepters simultaneously while exploring. So there will be basically 3 different scepters, as you can see, and then there are components as well that we can put for these scepters. Additionally, the components equipped in the scepters can be freely removed, re-equipped, or switched during exploration. So in case you have one scepter and you have basically a component that isn't really good for it, you can freely equip it, and then once you get a scepter that is going to work very well with that component, you can unequip it from that basically scepter and put it for the new scepter that is going to work very well with it. So that's a very good actually thing, that we don't need to pay anything in order to be able to remove, re-equip, or switch during exploration. Then we have basically upgrading scepters and components. As I told you, your scepters are going to have a certain amount of slots, and once you upgrade them, they are going to have more slots, and basically you can upgrade them twice to 3 stars, and that is going to give them the maximum amount of slots, which is basically 5 different slots. In addition, components can also be upgraded. Upgraded components typically offer better stats. Components come in 3 rarities. Once again, they are going to be basically 1 star, 2 star, and 3 stars. Upgrading components is done through Synthesize. When you obtain 3 identical components of the same rarity, for example 3 identical one of these, you are going to upgrade them immediately to to 2 stars. If you get 3 of this, you are going to upgrade them to 3 stars. And remember, identical. It's not like you have basically 1 star of one specific component and 1 star of a certain other component and they are going to merge. No, they have to be identical. They have to be the exact same one. And then they are going to basically be upgraded into 2 stars. And they will be upgraded automatically. You don't need to do anything for them. Once you acquire 3 of them, they are going to immediately upgrade into 2 stars. Either way, decision components, there are going to be basically some decision components as well. Not only have powerful effects, but their buffs can also influence other scepters carried by the Trailblazer. However, only one decision component can be equipped on a single scepter. So every single scepter is going to have the ability to be equipped with a decision component, and there is only one decision component that can be basically equipped on every scepter. So since we have 3 different scepters, we will have the ability to equip 3 different decision components. And as you can see, these are examples here. Increase the speed of all speed scepters by 70. So this is once again going to be very good for the first one. Increase amplification of all scepters by 50%. This might be actually good for anything that is going to be using some ability or maybe dealing some debuffs or something like that. When entering exploration, Trailblazer can choose an alignment for the session. The alignment are follow-up attack, ultimate, DOT, and break. Now the good thing about this is that unlike the simulated universe where you have to pray for the RNG gods to give you the buffs that you are basically hoping for your team, this one on the other hand is going to increase the chance of you getting these specific components and scepters that are going to work very well for your specific choice. So once you choose follow-up, there will be basically a higher chance of you getting scepters and components that increase your follow-up attack. If you choose ultimate, you are going to be able basically to get, or you are going to have a higher chance of getting scepters and components that are going to be very good for that, and the same for the OT and the break. So this is going to be a very good basically upgrade of the system, and it is going to help us be able to gain the buffs that we require in order to be able to clear the different stages. For example, if you choose ultimate as the exploration alignment, scepters and components that are activated by or enhance ultimate damage will have a higher chance of appearing. And these are some examples for how to choose basically. As you can see, we have the ultimate, the TOT, the follow-up attack, and the break here. In the simulated universe Unknowable domain, the workbench of creation is also available. So this is basically your typical shop where you can do different stuff. You can, for example, here choose basically different or the identical or different components, and you can basically either create a new one or you can basically upgrade them. As you can see here, we have this one which is upgraded into this one. I don't know how did they manage to upgrade it from, is this actually 2 stars? This is, isn't this wrong? Wait a second, this feels wrong for some reason. This, or well, yeah, like this is the one, right? It has 3 different slots, and then they upgraded it into 2 stars. It has 4 different slots, right? So how is it basically here with 4 different slots and it became with 5 different slots? I don't okay, I don't understand that one, but either way, you are going to be able to use your shop just like any regular shop, and you'll be able to also be basically buy different scepters or components, and you will be able to also replace your components and scepters in case you have some that you don't need. So it's just your typical shop there. This research focuses on two major parts: scattered archives and mondanite assembly. As you can see, there are different places here. And then there is also the usual buffs that you actually gain. Once you clear basically the stages, you are going to get some points, and these points are going to be used to activate different nodes, and these nodes are going to basically give you different buffs, just like usual. So it's pretty much the exact same when it comes to everything else here. However, there is one thing that I wanted actually to talk about, which is the message here. What do you think? Not so hard to comprehend, right? No problem, dear Madam Herta. Could you put the book down and let me have a look? He just wants to see her. It's really nice to see them actually saying that, because this pretty much confirms that she is Herta. Like, we already knew she is Herta, but this pretty much confirms that she is Herta, and we are going to definitely see her later on. Maybe not in 2.6, maybe not in 2.7, but definitely in 3.0. I think that 3.0 is definitely going to show her in the story, at least, if not as a playable character as well. Either way, this is my opinion about it, and this is everything that you need to know about the new domain and the rewards that we are going to get. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell beside it to stay notified with everything new about Honkai Impact 3rd and Honkai Star Rail. And until next time, see you as always in the next video.